The goal of this podcast is to help you break in and thrive in advertising. We do that every Tuesday by sharing the stories and advice of those rocking it on the other side. This week, we have a combo episode with some of my favorite creatives. Maicon Silveira and Luiz Faria are award-winning ACD partners at Havas, Chicago. I've had the pleasure of working with them over the past 6 months, and I've seen their contributions help shape the agency and cement Havas, Chicago as a leading hub for meaningful creativity, not just in Chicago, but across the globe. Their work for the Inheritance Pass for Yellowstone National Park is on a record-breaking award tour, which has already earned 2 Cannes Lions, 2 Leas, a Campaign Big Award, and more to come. This is thanks to Maicon, Luiz, and many other amazing creatives at Havas, Chicago. I would be foolish not to have them on the show. Both from Brazil, they come on the podcast to share their international advertising perspective. And if you are unaware, Brazil breeds some of the most creative advertising professionals in the business. They have a knack for creating award-winning campaigns. Anselmo Ramos from Gut is a perfect example, but so are Maicon and Luiz. This duo tells us where their innate creativity and curiosity derive from, and you can take some of their lessons and apply them to your own career to help you break in and thrive in advertising. It's fun to listen to them reflect and uncover stories with each other as they moved from Brazil to Chicago this past year. I hope they brought some heavy coats. So you can connect with Maicon and Luiz. Head to our Instagram at Breaking and Entering Pod, that's all one word, to see their recommended resources. Or reach out to me directly on LinkedIn and I will be happy to make an intro. Now let's listen to them. This is the Breaking and Entering Advertising Podcast, and as usual, I'm your accomplice, Gino Schellenberger. Kick it, Mikey. All right. We got a 2-part episode here, combo episode, my favorite. We got Luiz and Maicon from Havas, Chicago, the award-winning duo here, my good friends. We're not recording in person. That's okay. You guys were online, which I kind of prefer. But welcome to the Breaking and Entering Advertising Podcast. How are you both doing today?
Yeah. Hey, Gino. Thanks so much for having us. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here talking about advertising, creativity. Yeah, of course. We have been work every day at Havas, but sometimes it's important and good, of course, to talking about advertising, about good ideas, about our life, of course, because we just moved to US, so we have a lot of stuff to tell for your audience. So yeah, Thanks so much to make this invitation.
Of course, Maicon, how are you doing?
I'm good. Today we have a play of Brazil in World Cup, and it's a good day outside. It's like 7 degrees Celsius. I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for inviting us, and it will be a pleasure to talk about a little bit about our career.
What time's the game on? Are we just? Am I distracting you guys from watching?
No. It's 1 p.m. here in Chicago.
Okay, we got time. Good. I know you wouldn't be recording during that, so that's awesome. So yeah, so like you guys said, we have a lot to talk about, and this is gonna be a really interesting conversation. I'm excited to get to know you guys even more because I see you guys every other day, in the office, every day in the office, and what I know from you guys is it's funny, like hearing Myra, who is our president, and like in our SLT meetings, they'll say, "Well, we got to give this great brief to the Brazilians." We got to let them marinate on a really cool idea, and they'll come up with something. So you guys are kind of like the creative powerhouse of the agency. We have amazing creatives all around Havas, Chicago, but you two really stick out. So I want to applaud you on all your work, and none better kind of reflects the work that you guys have been doing than the Inheritance Pass, which is on a tremendous award season cycle right now. I've had the pleasure of helping submit that award. It's been really easy. I came into like with all the materials already ready, and it kind of just sells itself, the Inheritance Pass campaign from Havas, Chicago that you guys worked on. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what you guys are doing, your roles. You guys are a partner duo combo here at Havas, Chicago. And then I want to understand your culture. You said you recently moved. I want to understand the Brazilian culture and why it is a recipe for success in the United States for advertising creativity. It seems to win awards. It seems like it works. So I want to dive into like what's that dynamic and what's that rooted from. So that sound good? Those talking points to you guys?
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good question. I don't know the answer yet to be successful here in the US, of course, because it's not easy. It's a huge market, a lot of great agents, and I think since we start to work in Brazil and start our career in Brazil, of course, we saw a lot of American agents that inspired us. So yeah, of course, United States has a lot of influence in our creativity, in our work,
Gotcha.
and the way to work, of course. But I don't have the answer. But I think for now, since Mike and I we moved to Chicago 6 months ago, I think we have been trying to put our passion that we have for creativity, because it's not easy to work with advertising. Because there are a lot of competition, a lot of people, different cultures, even here in America. Are not Brazilians working here. There are a lot of people from Australia, Europe here, and India, and a lot of great talents here. But I think put passion. It's the key. It's the key to do this work here, and of course make the wheel change. I think Myra, as president and CCO at Havas Chicago, I think she believes that we have this kind of tool, and we have been trying to share this every day with her. And I think for now, something like this. And about you, Mike?
Yeah, I think I want to like we'll definitely dive into that. I want to start off now though. Like, tell me about Havas Chicago. You said you got here 6 months ago. So how has that been since you guys recently got here 6 months ago? A little bit longer, maybe. What's that been like? Where were you guys at before? And what did you notice working at Havas Chicago right off the bat? Let's talk about the culture and what we're doing here.
I think the Havas that we start working at Havas almost 2 years ago.
Okay.
But the Havas that we start is totally different than the Havas that we have today.
A change. Yeah. For better or for worse.
It has been changed a lot. But what is good, because I think if that Mara and all the leaderships of Havas is trying to make the agency more global, more international. And that's one of the reasons that we are here. And I think just to answer your first question, because to me, the secret of Brazilian here is because we born creative in Brazil. We are known as the country of the meme, because we have a lot of creativity on the internet, but we don't have good tools to develop it, because Brazil is a poor country. We are new country trying to develop our economic skills, but that's why you have to develop different ways to execute and create ideas that have to be cheap, because we don't have a lot of money. But when we bring this to US and we combine this with the power and the structure, because here everything is so planned, you have a structure for everything. When we combine these two things, I think this is the secret. This is an explosion of ideas.
Got it. So to recap, you're saying like you had to be a little bit scrappier, and you're in Brazil, and you're born in and around creativity and I want to get like, so when you say you're born in creativity and like that was just the culture there, who's leading that? Like who were some mentors, like people that instilled creativity in your lives? I'm curious, like who are those giants?
The answer here, to me, it's more psychological and political, because what I realize here, you have a good structured government.
Right.
The things works well, so you have law for everything. In Brazil, it's a mess. That's why you have to use our creativity to live better.
Mm.
So when you don't have, imagine a family. If you don't have a structured family with roles, you have to create more ways to survive. So when I say that Brazil born with creativity, is because we born trying to create ways to live better.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael, I compliment you. I think a simple way to explain this concept around Brazilian born and created, because Gino, imagine in America, to buy a basketball, to buy a NFL ball, it's
Mm-hmm.
super cheap. It's super simple.
Yeah.
A soccer ball, for example. In
Couple
Brazil,
clicks of a
no.
button, pretty
Exactly.
cheap. Yep.
Kids in Brazil need to develop their skills to create the arm balls to
Using
play.
socks, for example.
Exactly, with socks, with I don't know, a lot of stuff. And I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but have you heard about Carnival in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro specific?
What's it called?
Carnival. Is
No,
the
I don't
main
think.
is the main party in Brazil that happens every year in February.
Okay. It's ringing a bell for
So
sure.
yeah, Carnival. Carnival is part of the Brazilian culture because imagine thousands of people doing the same thing with a customer, different customer with colors, trying to express to express yourselves
Mhm.
with colors, with ideas, with political things, sociology, psychology, a lot of
Mhm.
stuff. I think that's why Brazil born as a creative since
Gotcha.
you are a kid, So I think this, of course, has a huge influence in the Brazilian creativity, for everybody, even you are a poor kid or you are a rich kids, So I think make us have this different way to think, to execute, to put
Gotcha.
this passion in creativity and even
So
advertising.
then what led you to advertising then is my question for both of you. Like, were you drawn to it? What point did you decide, hey, I want to get into advertising, use my creative powers to create commercials, basically? What drew you to that, both of you? We'll start out with you, Luis.
Yeah, to me it's funny because when I was teenager, like 15 years old, I had a rock band in Brazil because I'm.
Oh, nice. What'd you play?
Yeah, I love to play the guitar.
Nice.
And since there, I have been playing in my life, but of course I'm not professional. Yep. But I love I love music, and since there, I think with this band specific, I need to put some creativity to create the poster.
Start branding it.
That's why I start to be an art director.
Gotcha. You started creating your own content, posters. Did you have like a MySpace social accounts, Instagram, Facebook? Did you run all that as well?
Exactly. So imagine with 15 years old, I had my Cybershock, take picture to my friends and create poster. And I think there started this curiosity to create more, to exercise my creativity. I think the music started this passion.
Right. Right.
And then, of course, I did the college, advertising college and market here in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro. And I started as a internship and then junior, art directors, plano senior, and then now we are ACD here at Havas.
Okay, I'll dive into that in a second after Maicon answers his answer. Like how did you break into advertising? Like, what was that moment where you're like, I want to do this for a career?
The things in my life was a little different. I was born in a very small town called Volta Redonda in countryside of Brazil, and nobody knew what advertising was in that city. I remember that I told to my mom, I want to be a musician, I want to be an actor.
Sure.
And yeah, but you need a professional. You need to have a
Make some
job,
money. Yeah.
you know. So the things were happening, and I only started working with advertising when I moved to Rio de Janeiro when I was like 25 years old. So, and I never had this dream in my soul, you know. The things only was happen, and then I started to work with advertising as a copywriter.
Gotcha. But what were you doing growing up? Like, what were your hobbies? Did you play guitar or anything like that? Like, what drew you to it?
I like to so, some part in myself believes that I'm singer, but
Okay.
I don't have this talent. So I played how to I learned how to play guitar, but I couldn't see in people, oh, it's better maybe you try another profession and don't have this kind of talent.
Okay. Gotcha.
But I didn't believe in that. I tried to play in some places to sing in some places in Rio de Janeiro, in Volta Redonda, but it wasn't good at all.
We're probably gonna do karaoke for the holiday party at some point. So you guys are being
But
on the
only
spot.
Portuguese
No, please.
song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Got
do
it.
it.
Okay. So we kind of covered off basically why the scrappiness and the forced creativity from Brazil in a way. It was ingrained at you at a young age for both of you to figure things out, come up with creative solutions. Is that fair to say? Probably. Nodding your
Yeah.
heads. Yep.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's it.
So I want to know now, like that first advertising agency experience. How did you get that first job? Was it as simple as you had an internship? You were just naturally good. You worked hard on your craft. So Maicon, it was writing for you. Luis, it was layouts, Adobe. Were you guys just naturally good? You're like, all right, and you got your first jobs. They just hired you off your portfolios. Did you have to go to portfolio school? How did you break in? Like to that first real advertising agency job. That's the point of this podcast, teaching people how they broke in. What was that story? Were you working hard for it?
Uh, when when I was 25, almost 25 years old, I was trying to move to Rio de Janeiro, and then we started looking for a job, me and my old partner, that is also a friend of Luis. And then another friend of us, he had a camera, and he said, okay, let's record this. And then we recorded going to agents and trying to find a job.
Interesting. You documented it?
Yeah, like a documentary.
Okay.
And that day was horrible because we didn't get a job, and we come back to our city, Volta Redonda, almost crying on the bus. And that guy make a video, put on the internet, and then this video viralized. That makes sense. This word
went viral.
Yeah, went viral.
Mm-hmm.
That video went viral, and then
can we find this video?
Oh yeah, I can send to you, but it's only in Portuguese.
Okay.
And then a program of TV saw this video, and we went to a famous TV show in Brazil. But Luis was on the guys and that time that saw this video and sent to his boss, and his boss sent to another guy that this guy gave us a course to study at ESPM. So in that course, who win that course, we get internship in that agency. And I remember that one day before to present the final project, I talked with myself, I need to get that. I want to leave today. I will win.
Okay.
And I get this internship. My first agency was Staff Brazil with Paulo Castro. I remember that guy. And was a little different. That's why I believe that the life, how can I explain that? Because it's a Brazilian expression. The life make you go to your right way.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Sure.
And you, Luis?
Yeah, I remember this video.
So yeah, you were like going to you were recording it. You go walking into agencies asking for a job. Is that pretty much it? Like, what was this video? Tell me more. Luis, you said you saw it. I mean, I know Mike.
No, I saw. Yeah, I didn't eat, but this time I didn't know Michael in person. But of course, we are from the same city, Volta Redonda, this countryside city.
Sure.
And when I watched this video, I remember it was I felt super happy because a person from Volta Redonda trying to do something super different. And I remember when I put this video in front of my boss, and please, let's try to help these guys because they are super talented guys, creative.
Sure.
And why not to try to help? And so
yeah.
I tried to do a little bit to help, even I didn't met Michael in person. After that, of course, we turned friends in Rio de Janeiro. Yeah,
that's cool. So you kind of helped him out. So you forwarded that video, and then Maicon, you said ESPN. Was that what you were saying?
Yeah, yes.
ESPN.
It's like Miami at school here.
Oh, okay. So somebody saw it. I want to make sure I understand this correctly. So bear with me. So somebody saw the video, and Luis, was this because of you? Like you forwarded this around, and somebody saw Maicon's video, and they said like you should go to this school. It was like a portfolio school called ESPM. And got it. I love the thumbs up. Thank you. And then they paid for your school. Like who paid for it? Like how did that work?
Yeah. They gave us. They pay.
Who's they?
Was Paulo Castro. That's my first boss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They was a teacher in the school, and they gave like a
scholarship.
Luis, how can I say both scholarship? Yeah.
Scholarship. Yeah.
Scholarship. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Scholarship.
So a teacher saw it and was like, let's give this kid who got rejected at all these agencies in the video, let's give him a scholarship.
Yeah, because we didn't have portfolio. So we was rejecting all the agents. And then
what were you doing going into the agencies? You're just saying, hey, can I get a job? Or like you didn't?
Yeah, we want to try advertising, and because we worked in marketing companies a little bit before, so it's totally different.
So you just were saying, hey, I would love a job here, and then you recorded it, and they were like, no, you need to have a portfolio.
Yeah, that's it.
And then the portfolio school saw like, let's help this guy out. And they help out. Was it just you in the video again, or was there a couple people?
It was me and my old partner.
And did he get a scholarship too?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, I love that. That's awesome. From there, you went to portfolio school. You built the portfolio, and then your teacher hired you.
Yeah, it was that.
Nice.
There was a less presentation, it's like a pitch.
Yeah.
Between the students, and
the winner got a full-time job.
Yeah, the winner would get a job, and I got it.
Nice.
My old partner.
Gotcha. And that's what you're saying. You're not leaving until you win. Gotcha. Okay, that's a great story. I love that. Lesson there, document your progress, have a portfolio, share your progress, share your portfolio. If you need to go to portfolio school, that's always an option as well. And maybe you'll network with your teacher. Maybe your teacher will hire you. I think those are the building blocks of that story, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Gotcha. Love it.
It's a funny history.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
And
all right, Luis.
That's a one, of course.
So you were already, when you saw this video, Luis, you were already working in an agency. How did you get in? What's your side of this story?
Yeah, I remember. I think Mike and I, we almost started at the same time in advertising.
Yeah.
Maybe I started 6 months ago.
Okay.
As an internship in an advertising agency called Artiplan in Rio de Janeiro.
Okay.
Now Artiplan, I think it's the most independent creative agency in Brazil. It's a good
award-winning. It's a good one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's like a Widen.
Yeah. Called Artiplan.
Artiplan.
Artiplan. Yeah, that's
got
it.
Cool.
Artiplan. And
how'd you get in there?
Yeah, I remember because when I started my college, I got the chance to start an internship program into the college as a design.
Okay.
And it was very good because I don't need to pay my college about it, because I developed all poster design into the college for to announce, for example, doctor school, advertising, marketing, nurse, engineer. It's a college, so I I I used to do this poster to announce the courses in this college that I did.
So you're telling me you went to school and they paid you to go to school because you were doing ads marketing for the department?
Exactly, because I start with 15. So when I start my college, I had a great knowledge with Photoshop, Illustrator.
Because of your band growing up and you were curious, that's what started it. You started exploring early on. You had the skills.
Exactly. So I got this chance, and I think after two years and a half, I did a portfolio school in Rio de Janeiro, another one different from this one that Michael
Okay.
did.
And you did this after college or after your undergrad?
During the college. Yeah.
Oh, so you doubled up because you were getting free college, right? What were you studying in your college first and
Yeah,
foremost?
because at my college, I studied advertising concept,
Okay.
and my college it was not so good to art direction
Right.
concept.
Right. It's more theory, more like media planning, understanding like
Exactly. So
the
that's why I
buying.
decided to do this portfolio school in Rio de Janeiro. It was very fast and quickly course, like
Yep.
3 months or 4 months.
Sure.
And in this place, I knew a guy that he's my friend since there. His name is Ronaldo Fonseca. And Ronaldo got a job at Art Plan as an internship.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ronaldo get promoted as a junior art director. And he asked me if we would like to work at Art Plan as an internship.
Okay.
So, but it was a very hard decision because, as I said, I didn't pay my college because this internship program at the college,
Right.
I didn't pay for nothing because it's like a scholarship, as you said, to Michael.
Okay.
So, but Art Plan, it's a huge and big agency to start.
Right.
And
And you would have started as an intern while you were at school?
Yeah, exactly.
Or was it after you graduated?
No, at the same time.
So you would have been going to undergraduate. You would have been going to university, your college.
Mhm.
You would have been working for the school because that's how you were paying for your school. You were
Yeah.
going to portfolio school as well. And then you wanted to get, and then they offered you an internship.
Exactly. It was
Okay.
crazy.
And how old were you at this time?
I think 21.
21.
21. Yeah.
Okay.
Almost the end of the college.
Okay.
Because in
That's
Brazil,
awesome that you got
advertising
free
marketing-
school. First
Sorry.
off, that's awesome that you got free school. First off, because you were, I mean, was that job demanding though, like doing marketing for the school? Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I remember the day that I called to my mom.
Mhm.
Mom, I have a chance to be part of the most big agency in Brazil called the Art Plan.
Right.
But mom, I will lose my
Scholarship.
scholarship.
Just for
What do you
that last
think?
year though?
I think, almost 1 year and a half to finalize.
So you had to get them. Was it expensive? Or what'd you do? What'd she say?
Yeah, it's a little bit expensive.
So what'd she say?
I remember my mom. It's amazing. My mom always encouraged me to take the decision that my heart is feeling in that moment. And I
That's good.
remember, and she said, "Luiz, do what you have in your heart.
Nice.
That's the decision. I will try to help you.
Nice.
Of course, it's not a good moment to make this change in our life because of the money. Because I have two old sisters at the same time doing the college at the same time.
Right.
So imagine about my family perspective in terms of money and budget to pay for this. And I remember that I decided to go. I started, and after 12 years, my conclusion, I did the right.
Nice. Looking back, you took that
Yeah.
internship.
Exactly.
Got it. And that was through one of your friends at the portfolio class that got promoted and was like, he needs a junior art director or an intern art director, and they hired you.
That's it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That was happening.
It paid off in the long run.
Yeah.
Okay. These are two phenomenal stories.
Exactly. But the worst part of it, because the money in that time, it was very small. I didn't remember exactly the amount of money that I earned as an internship, but it was hard. It was almost 1 year in my life, very hard to organize the money, opportunities, work, college, and then a lot of stuff.
From that internship, did they offer you a full-time junior position after?
Yeah, after 6 months.
Okay.
After 6 months, I changed to a junior art director. So I started to earn more money.
Yeah, of course.
And then I think almost 2 years after, I went to another agency called Sachi, an international one, that I learned a lot. So the things was happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what would you guys say now? I think wrapping up your break-in story is phenomenal. I love how it's a little bit intertwined, same hometown. I guess, where did you guys meet up in your careers? I think that's my next question. Yeah. Where did you guys meet up next?
Cool. Yeah, good question. As I said, I think in this same time, almost in 2010, 2011, when Michael started this internship at Staff, these agents that Michael mentioned, and me at Artiplan. Yep. I think we had a chance to meet each other in advertising parties. And and since there we tried to be a partner. Since there, I think in 2012, Michael changed for another agent called Mood, right, Michael?
Mood
TBAA. Yeah, it's part of TBAA group.
Oh, TBAA.
Rio de Janeiro. And Michael invited me, but at the same time, I received another opportunity to work at Sati to earn more money. And since there, we tried to be partner. But never happened.
It never lined up, right? Different opportunities. So where did it line up?
Yeah. So, and then 3 years ago, right, Michael? Not after the pandemic, but during the pandemic here in Brazil, we decided to get fired to our jobs because we thought that we need a new experience abroad. So we decided to looking forward for international opportunity in Europe, the United States, and we start to work together at TBAA Zurich in Switzerland.
Nice.
Yeah, 2 years and a half.
Did you go in person?
No, not in person. Work from home during the pandemic. So it was a
good shop. It's supposed to be good there. Isn't that a good shop though? Like really creative?
Yeah, it is, because they do a lot of McDonald's campaign, Volvo, BMW cars. Yeah. So we had a chance to create for international brands and great opportunities with Cheese and Walt, the creative director from TBAA.
Shout out.
And after that, we had a chance to work at Gut Miami as well, work from home.
Yep.
And it was amazing because we worked with Bruno Mazzotti and Dean Paradise, the ACD from Gut Miami. They are amazing, and in terms of creativity and
where are they from?
As human.
Yeah. One of them is from Brazil, and of course another one's from South Africa. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Gotcha. It was amazing.
And here we have another interesting story, Luiz, because we didn't know how to speak English before the pandemic, so
Oh, really?
it's something very new to us. So,
Wow.
but it's interesting because in
How'd you guys
Brazil,
learn?
I will tell it.
Okay, go ahead.
In Brazil, only 1% of population know how to speak English because, to me, two things. One, it's very expensive.
Mm,
Now it's getting easy to learn, but when I was a boy, only rich people used to study English.
okay.
And also because geographically we are in South America, it's not like in Europe, when you have a lot of countries with different language, you have to speak English.
Yeah.
There is like Portuguese and Spanish, so you don't have a lot of contact with English. But I remember the first, I think the fifth day after the pandemic start, my agency closed down, and they fired 9% of people, and I was one of them.
Wow.
And then we decided, okay, let's work abroad, let's study English, and we will use that time to learn and plan how to do that. And I have ADHD, so we have something called hyperfocus. So it's hard to focus something, but when you focus, it's like everything around you only can focus on what you're doing.
Yeah.
So we study. I remember, Luis, we study 6 hours per day every day, and we
Wow.
call each other, oh my god, I can't study anymore, there is a pandemic outside. Okay, man, let's focus.
Yeah.
Oh, so you used the pandemic to learn English as well.
Yeah,
You,
we use it.
Maicon, you said that your job laid you off. Luis, what was your scenario at that point? Were you still working?
I still working, but after I think in almost 8 months, I decided to get to go out and
Okay.
focus with Maicon this project.
So
Studying
did you
English.
quit your job or you just kind of like chilled
I
out?
quit. No, I quit my job by myself.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you guys were both, so you're like, all right, we're doing this. We're going to go all in. You quit your jobs. Was that scary? I mean,
It was. It is
Yeah, it
until
was.
today.
yeah, that would, and Luis, I don't know your family situation. Like, were,
No, in this moment, I think I can do. I can not. I can do, but I decided with my wife, of course, to do it. So we
Yeah,
had an amount
yeah,
of money to do it.
you were good for a little bit, but you need to work hard so you weren't gone too long, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just me and her. So it's more easy than my college time. So it's
Yeah.
different moment because in this
You rely on
time
her.
I had 10 years work with advertising. So it's
Yeah,
different.
you had, for sure. So you had a little bit of backed up. You're right. You were like, okay, you allotted some time. So you guys went all in, learned English, and then you applied, and that's how you guys got to the Zurich. Was that Zurich first and then Gut?
Yeah, the Zurich opportunity, Michael, it's a funny history because more funny history, but yeah, it's funny. March when the pandemic started
2020, March. Yep.
March 2020, right. In this time before the pandemic, I think in February and the beginning of the March, I went to Switzerland with my wife just to travel.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. And walking in Zurich, I realized that because first of all, Zurich, it's a beautiful and amazing city to live.
Yep.
I spent, I think, 10 or 12 days there. And we saw a lot of buildings with Satisat, TBWA,
agencies,
BBDO, and a lot of agents. And I talked with my wife. I will send some message on LinkedIn to these people.
Some
and why
feelers,
not opportunity to live in Europe, in Switzerland?
Yeah, why not?
And I talked with a guy called Tizen, as I mentioned, Tizen Walt. Tizen is the creative director from TBWA, Zurich. And Tizen loved my portfolio,
Of course.
And I remember that I sent my portfolio with Michael, and he loved it. So after this situation that we start to work but study in English, I come back to Brazil, of course, and then I sent another message to Tizen. Hey, Tizen, me and Mike and I, we would like to work with you. If you have a chance, please reach me out. And Tizen invited us to do this, to work with him at TBWA Zurich, and we started. So I remember our first meeting in English. It was very funny because in Switzerland, people speak German, Italy, and a little bit of English. So imagine Mike and I started to talk in English a little bit.
Yeah.
But Chizen was an amazing guy with us, trying to be calm, to try to explain for us how the bridge is patient, exactly. So that's it was this way that we start to work together and in English abroad.
Yes. I remember that we used to record the briefings with subtitle to watch again after the meeting to see if you understand or not what they were saying, because it was impossible to us. You remember that?
I remember. And I think it's an interesting thing, because if there isn't this kind of technology as Google Meeting that I can turn on the closed caption, the Microsoft Teams, we have this kind of tools. So these tools helped us to make it possible, So before to move to Chicago, we had the chance to improve our English a little bit before, with a lot of meetings. Of course, now we have been working with Jim and Josh at Havas, and they are amazing, as you said, with a lot of patience with us, trying to explain, because sometimes it's complicated to understand the culture, a specific situation or a specific brand. But I think Mike and I, we had this look when we decided to start to work abroad, because the people are so important to make it happen,
Yeah. No, that's great. And then I want to close it off now and ask you, so what drew you to Havas Chicago?
Yeah. But I don't know if I talked about it, but these both opportunity that we had at TBWA Zurich and Guts Miami, it was as freelancers.
Got it.
Yeah. So of course we every day we talked with the creative director. Please, guy, pay a visa for us to move, and then we tried a lot, but in that time it was hard. But at the same time, we saw an opportunity on LinkedIn at Havas Chicago.
Yep.
That I recruited posted on LinkedIn.
Yep.
I remember her name. It's Marilyn. I don't think that she's working with us now more. Yeah. And Marilyn received our portfolio, and she talked, guys, you're amazing. Your portfolio is insane. I remember it. I have this message in my LinkedIn.
Nice.
And Mike and I, we thought, man, I think now we have a great chance to get a visa and a great opportunity to work in a good agency in America.
Yep.
And I remember we did almost 20 interviews with Marilyn, the old CCO John, Jim and Josh, almost 20.
And Lewis, do you remember?
And Lewis. Yeah, and Lewis.
Who's that?
The Lewis McVell.
Of NAR and Citibank.
Lewis, gotcha.
Lewis.
Okay.
Lewis.
Yeah, fantastic.
And I just compliment you, Luis, because I remember the first time we denied to come here because we are not sure to move to Chicago because we don't hear a lot about the city. Chicago is the city that we need to come here in person to understand how this city is amazing and beautiful. But I remember that Jim and Josh, they insisted with us, and they showed that they care to have us in their team. And it showed to us they were human leaders, and that's what we wanted in that time. So, and now we have 100% sure that we made the right decision.
Love it. I know they're super pumped to have you guys, and like I said, the teams, the leads, they rely on you guys and everybody else, but just the work you guys have done, the influence is definitely notable, and everybody's super grateful for you both and the amount of work you guys put in. So I want to compliment you both. And I've only been here for 7 months now, 6 months, 7 months, and it's been a pleasure. So I'm glad you guys came on my show. I know we can talk a lot. Maybe we'll have to do like some thought leadership exercises. Like you guys, like we can talk about like some mini episodes where you talk about your visas and like that process. But I do want to cut it off here, and maybe we'll tease out some future content, like I just said. But really phenomenal stories. Like I'm glad I got to know a little bit more about you both, your break-in stories, the understanding the basics, like why Brazilian culture breeds award-winning work and creatives. It's you two are that with our Inheritance Pass. I highly suggest people check out the Inheritance Pass. If you Google it, Yellowstone National Park. I think like the pass itself garnered like 2.5 billion earned impressions. It's won 2 Cannes Lions so far. It's won 2 Leas. It's won a Campaign Big Award for a nonprofit, Work for Good. I think it's going to win, probably, fingers crossed, probably going to win a Drum Award by the time this is out. I don't know for sure yet. Probably Drum Agency Business Awards that I submitted. So just round of applause to you guys, just all around the board. It's been a pleasure. Anything else that you want to say though before we jump off? How can people connect with you guys? Let's say we have like Buchin, who is our art director. If he wants to send a portfolio, can they email you, our student listeners? Can they LinkedIn message you? What's the best way to reach out to you both?
I think first of all on LinkedIn, people can talk with us there. I always try to answer people on LinkedIn because I really respect the time that people spend to ask us or ask for something on LinkedIn. So Luiz Faria, Maicon Silveira on LinkedIn, and our portfolio, right, Michael? michaelluiz.com.
Nice.
People can
reach out there,
can see our portfolio, and it will be a pleasure to talk with more people. And
great, amazing.
And, thank you so much for having us here. It's a pleasure. I really appreciate all your support that you give to us. Thank you.
Of course. Always happy to help. You guys rock. All right. I'll see you Monday or Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have food. We'll see.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye, Gino.
See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this entire episode of the Breaking and Entering Advertising podcast. If you like what you heard, it would mean a lot to us and help us grow and get better guests and better break-ins if you can go to Apple Podcasts and leave us 5 stars and a small review if you have the time. Be sure to connect with our guests if you like what they said by going to our Instagram at Breaking and Entering Pod. That's all one word, Breaking and Entering Pod on Instagram. We have links to their portfolios and their LinkedIn, and they want to connect, so do that. And thank yous. Thank you to Mikey Malarkey, our audio engineer, and Buchan Zhang, our creative director. Can't do it without you two, and a team from the University of Illinois. It's a student team from the agency called AdBuzz. They're a PR agency, and it's been a pleasure working with them. Thank you all so much, and we will see you next week with another amazing guest. Thank you so